Hello, beautiful yogis. Welcome to our restorative practice on this day. We're going to rest our bodies, connect with our emotional body, rest our weary bones, and access some soul-level fatigue that may be here, as we are indeed in tumultuous times. Let's begin in our open book pose. Perhaps you're already in it. If you're new today, you need props. We've got 2 blocks put up on a little step for your bolster to rest on. And we sit right against that short end of the bolster so that we can lie back along this recliner. All the way back, right in the middle. And then you can maneuver your props so they hold your arms, your hands, your elbows. Bring the soles of your feet together and feel how, like a book, your spine is that center line and you are falling away left and right, even further than the horizontal plane. You're going even more open than a book, as your shoulders, your arms, and your knees fall away. Close your eyes at this moment. Close your eyes and welcome yourself, your beautiful self, to this lovely, lovely place of beingness, of resting and arriving to your conscious breath. Feel how it's been here and how it is here currently. Your beautiful breath that connects you to source, to all of life, as it flows through this temple for your soul. We are soul beings inhabiting this particular physical body at this particular time. And it's all shifting and moving, even as we find stillness in this shape. The incoming breath fills your belly, climbs up to your ribs, and then crests all the way at your throat. Let's pause at the top of the breath and then blow the breath away. We repeat that. A generous inhalation through your nose, rising up to fullness, a little pause, and then the blowing away of your breath through your pursed lips. Can we do a few more of these? Know that this manner of exhalation is a way to signaling your nervous system that we are descending, coming down from high alert. We are descending into calm. We are coming into tranquility. And so that's the intention of our practice, to regain our tranquility, our equanimity, our centeredness. It's essential that we return to this place over and over again as we navigate the tumultuous times that we're in. Please stay with this breath. The tumultuous times that have been spoken about eons ago, we are now in the time of prophecy. Prophecies from so many cultures, timelines, they're all constellating around this period of time that we're in, this time of great change. And so we find this calm breathing, this communicating via our breath to the deeper layers of our body so magnificently designed to respond to our intentions and our attention, and to where and what we think about. And so let this be a little sanctuary time for your body-mind, to breathe in this slow manner, to feel the limbs stretching wide, to feel perhaps the opening that is occurring now at your heart. And so the time of prophecy does not need to be a time of dire events, even though we see them. How we hold our frequency, our state of being, how we imagineer ourselves and our future is vital. Because here's the thing, we are building this new world together in our consciousness. Some of us are in the active field, bringing in innovations, ways of doing and being things that help the planet, that help all of us. And some of us are doing it on the energetic level by constantly and exquisitely tending our thoughts to keep them in the plane of the positive, the creative. As we continue to breathe in this shape, please let your exhalation now be through your nose and let it become much longer than your inhale. All through the nose, both in and out. The exhalation much, much longer. Recognizing ourselves for who we truly are. We are love incarnate. We are creativity in a body. We are kindness and generosity in a body. This is our true nature. And we have felt it so very personally in the last couple of weeks as we suffered the loss in our family of our beautiful dog so suddenly, catapulting us into a kind of a personal trauma. Our world suddenly crashed. And this breaking up of what had become normal is in fact a portal to new consciousness. And so as everything that comes to our door, everything that brings change in our lives is an opportunity to grow in consciousness, to realize our humanity and our divinity and how they live intertwined inside this body. Here is my breath, calming and soothing, nourishing and bringing everything that's needed in this moment. A physical body at rest, conscious breaths flowing through, and giving us the space between our habitual thoughts. And by the way, those habitual thoughts are often plugins, programs that we've been carrying for a long time. And it's not our fault. It's just what's running currently. And so our task the invitation is to see what runs through our mind as a repeating pattern and how we could disengage from it. No need to argue, simply disengage. Come back to the breath. Come back to neutral. Come back to a storyline that carries within it hope, creativity, and a beautiful path of unfolding of this new earth that we are creating together. And so in a way, we are all in transition. We are all being initiated, sometimes consciously and sometimes on an unconscious level, into this new way of being. And so to heal, to acknowledge, to rest in the soul level of exhaustion that many of us feel, to accept it as it is, feel it and breathe. This is our path, and we're doing it together. There is a reorganization going on a subliminal level that perhaps we cannot see yet, but we know it's happening. And that's true for all of us. And it takes courage. It takes courage to accept what is here, to accept the unfolding, and to accept the great mystery of it all. And what we can control, or learn to control, or become more aware of, is where our thoughts go. So choose the narrative that nourishes you. Keep it filled with hope. We never want to lose that. There's always the potential for a beautiful, beautiful unfolding. And so I have a little quote from Yeshua, drawn from the Gospel of St. Thomas, and it goes like this: when you make the two one, when you make the inside the outside, and when the above like the below, and when you make the male and the female one and the same, then you will enter the kingdom of heaven. So this recognition of oneness, feel it, receive it, and know that it is so. No matter where the wheel of time may be for you personally, gloriously joyful and wonderful, or perhaps invited into sadness and loss, and to allow and receive the reorganization that brings with it, and to know we all get a turn in every place along the wheel. this time of the many prophecies which tell us of the new earth, which tell us of the end of time as we know it and the birth of a golden age. And that is filled with hope. Nice, everyone. So let's complete this shape. Help your knees back up together. Just draw your knees back up and then gently roll off your setup, coming to your side. And we'll set up for our next shape, which is going to be downward facing, which is going to be the revolved child's pose. I like to have a little padding. So one of your blankets at the end of your bolster for your left butt cheek. And that bony sit bone on the left side. Sit on that. Your second blanket can accommodate your legs, one of your legs. So please snuggle up to the short end and then rise by using your little props of your hand each side. Rotate your trunk leftwards and then come forward along the midline, lying down at the center as we did a moment ago. Now we're the other way. And then let your arms find purchase, find rest, find support alongside. And so you can keep your legs in a ziggy-zag shape. Or you could extend one of your legs, be it your top or your bottom. Personally, I love to stretch that bottom leg, letting the top leg rest on the blanket. So as we rest and press a little bit, the body weight is pressing into this bolster. Come back to your breathing. Can you access the feeling of your breath in your back? And so now the inhale is penetrating into those areas that maybe haven't received the breath today. And so really bring your inhalation in deep. And let your exhalation empty away completely. This is the revolved child's pose. Any form of child's pose is really that making the body small and going inward. So that sense of the inward state where the feeling of the breath is here. Where the thoughts, the ruminations can float through. Floating through without getting too attached to any of the thoughts, even though I am offering you reflections. The significance of the Maha time, the great time that we're in, as well as the micro, that tiny place that we've curled up into, to breathe and feel the inner world, to know that this is the place where we can make choices. The choice to be present, the choice to accept what is here in this micro moment or in our life situation. Accept it, accept reality as it is. To know that nothing stays the same in the world of form, it's constantly shifting and moving. Even as we navigate through this observing of thought, as we navigate the challenges in our lives. Sometimes we meet a roadblock, something that seems unsurmountable, or an old pattern that we keep coming back to. And we keep coming back to it because it's here to be seen and to be healed. And we don't need to waste our time with self-judgment, with old forms that we were programmed with. It is not our innate knowing. Those old programs of I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. It's not who we are, beautiful yogis. Soul beings, evolving, beings of light, carriers of beauty, creators of the new. That's who we are. We are invited to co-create this unfolding, this new humanity, both personally and together. Lovely. We have 3 more cycles of your breath in this first side of revolved child's pose. And then just use your hands to push your way up, to make your way either via your knees or just turning around on your butt, to snuggle up on your right sit bone and bringing your leg blankie along to the other side. As we sit on the right sit bone, we approach the bolster by lifting and rotating the ribs to lie full frontal in the middle on the right ear. Settle here. Arrange your legs the way you like. Close the eyes and drop into that inner body where breath is palpable. And where we can flow one breath into the next. And continuing to bring your breath to your back. Jack Cornfield is always the wise teacher for us in our home, and I love to share what he brings to us, to all of us. And if you haven't read his beautiful book, The Wise Heart, then I would say that's a good one to start with if you really want to change your life and live from the heart. Go ahead and read Jack's book, The Wise Heart. And meanwhile here, this small piece from Jack I'm going to share is called The Zen of an Aching Heart. and the reminder that, like a sand castle, all is temporary. Build it, tend it, enjoy it, and when the time comes, let it go. Before I read Jack's words, I'm just thinking of, here we are living on the Oregon coast, and there's a woman who posts daily her beautiful mandala shapes that she makes on the beach. It's quite mind-boggling. They're almost as good as the crop circles, but she makes them all by herself, tracing these beautiful circles and shapes and symmetries in the sand. So much beauty, and yet the tide comes in and it's all washed away. It's quite an image for this life and the impermanence, and how we can still create beauty and still live fully and give it our all, even though it's temporary. Right, back to Jack. When our heart breaks, in love, in friendship, in partnership, it's always a very difficult experience. Modern neuroscience has even discovered that the emotional suffering we experience registers in the same areas of the brain as physical pain. So when we're feeling abandoned and rejected, and we don't want to eat and we can't sleep and we have difficulty breathing, our bodies feel as if we have the flu or we've been run over by a truck. So what can we do when we have to accept the loss of a friend, a lover, or a loved one? What truth can we find beyond the stories we tell ourselves about how they're wrong and we're right, or we're wrong and they're right? What can we do besides spending fruitless hours trying to decipher everything they said and did? Could we do something more useful than justifying to ourselves what we said or did, or wishing we'd said or done something else? And what can we do when the story spreads to nearly drown us in despair over feeling that there's something wrong with us, and that we're unlovable, and that we're the reason things didn't wake up? That we're the reason things didn't work out. The first thing, says Jack, first thing you need to do when you've suffered loss or betrayal is to find a way to regain your wise heart so that you can let it hold the aching of your heart. We need to go through our difficulties in a conscious way. And another Zen teacher said, the person who, being really on the way, falls upon hard times in the world will not, as a consequent, turn to that friend who offers them refuge and comfort and encourages them, their old self, to survive. Rather, they will seek out someone who will faithfully and inexorably help them to risk themselves, so that they may endure the suffering and pass courageously through it. Only to the extent that a person exposes themselves over and over again to annihilation can that which is indestructible arise within them. Only then can that which is indestructible arise within them. In this lies the dignity of daring. Sometimes, suffering the losses and the unexpected betrayals and breakups that befall each of us becomes where we grow deepest in our capacity to lead an authentic and free life. Here is where the heart grows in dignity and care. By grieving honorably and tenderly and working our way through our difficulties, our ability to love and feel compassion for ourselves and others deepens, along with the trust that will help us through similar problems in the future. So, breathe. Remember, there are countless others who have suffered in this way and gotten through it. We're not alone. Learning how to survive our present difficulties is one of the few things that will help us to know the right things to do, to say, when others whom we love suffer as well. So beautiful, yogis. Let's complete this second side of the child's pose. Slowly make your way up. And this time let's come to hands and knees. If you can, just coming to all fours. And just undulate into your spine a few breaths. Inhaling, arching, this is the cow shape. And exhaling, rounding into the cat shape. So a little pumping of prana, of cerebral spinal fluid through the spine with this breath and moving. Lovely, let's do one more. And then we'll come into the next shape, which is child's pose, supported child's pose. So you can leave your props as they are. If you're good with child's pose, if you want to support your knees with a blankie under your thighs, that will help your knees. And then lie forward on your bolster, snuggle in, get small again. And find the support as your arms relax, your head relaxes. The alternate pose is crocodile shape, where we lie full frontal. So I'll demonstrate that. The blocks go away. The bolster is under the belly and we lie forward, so that the heart can rest on the earth, the brow can rest on the ground or on your hands or on a pillow, and your legs so at ease, relaxed, stretch out. So make sure that you're not in a physical struggle. No need to argue with your body to force it into a shape. Completely counterproductive in this practice. Find a comfy place where you can be, to rest and breathe into your back. This resting and breathing is part of the reorganizing on a deep level. It's been mapped out and scientifically explained how the nervous system resets, and I could tell you a litany of changes. But there's nothing like direct experience. So receive, moment by moment, breath by breath, your body's response to this practice. very long exhalations, and maybe a little moment without breath at the end. See how that feels. It's part of the slowing down and deepening. So the next 3 breaths in this shape to complete this shape. To slowly make your way up. And if you've been in child's pose, just stretch the back of your legs a moment from the all fours. Just open the back of your knees. And then we're going to set up our props for the seated forward bend, this supported forward bend. So we create our seat and plop down on it, and then we'll build our support with the blocks. The 2 blocks forming our little table. Know that you could use a nearby chair or coffee table just as well, especially if you're a little tight in your back and hamstrings. You might find it easier, because we want to be relaxed and at the same time find a little length in the spine. So you can have cross legs or straddle legs, and then lean forward to rest your brow on your support, and let your heart move forward, taking the roundness out of the upper back, creating sensation in the lower back of a little stretch. And then once you feel that you could just stay and be comfy here, turn back to breath awareness. Breath awareness, so that we can deepen that internal connection. To come to that deeper, quiet place. Quiet place within us that corresponds to to the silence of the universe, the inner and the outer matching. Even in this evolution, deep personal growth, vast collective changes, we are recognizing that we are in relationship not only to the earth but also to the grand cosmos and that vast infinite space that surrounds us. And how as our little planet Earth travels around the sun in her orbit, she's facing constantly a new part of the cosmos. And the cosmos is filled with information. Information that comes to us through intuition, through insights, through the eureka moments, the aha moments, through scientists researching. And it is said there is an enormous influx of information coming into us from the cosmos to help us as we evolve and up-level humanity. And none of us is exempt. We're all going through it. It manifests in the strangest ways: tiredness, great excitement, ringing in the ears, not sleeping, all things that we're familiar with. It's said that we're being up-leveled, upgraded, and it happens below the level of our consciousness. There's a lot of hope in that storyline, in that timeline. And timelines are changing, and our old ways of seeing things are totally shifting as we see them in a new way. In this time of social revolution, evolution, we can see how we've all grown and understood things in a way that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we didn't. So it's happening. And to be in the place of welcoming, to up-level, to come to the place of allowing and trusting this unfolding. So when we are linked in to that inner quietude, that soul being, that essence of who we are, so many words we can use to describe the indescribable. But it's within us all. And we're linked in with that. We can drop into trust, trusting this great unfolding, breath by breath, within this body and within this world. It's also the time of year that we are exactly in the middle of summer. We are equidistant from the summer solstice, the beginning of summer, and the upcoming fall equinox, which will meet in September 20th, 21st. And we're right slap bang in the middle of it all. And we are now in a timeline that's been evolving. It's a new timeline for many of us, and it's called the 8-8. Some call it the Lion's Gate, some call it 8-8. infinity, and it has to do where we are facing. Our Earth is facing in relationship to the Sun and the constellations behind that. And this is considered a mystical, magical opening, an opportunity for us to become very still and to hear and listen to the intuition, to the small voice that comes in. So that's the invitation as you rest and breathe. It is a beautiful moment to remember the words, ask and you will receive. Anything that you're personally longing for, wanting to unfold, wanting to create, ask and you will receive. Enjoying 3 more breaths in this seated forward bend. And then the invitation to come up to sit. And we'll sit a moment, sit comfy, cross-legged or against the wall, so we can practice a little bit of pranayama. So sit upright. We'll do alternate nostril breathing. So bringing your right hand thumb, close off your right nostril, inhale through your left. And as you're full of breath, close off your left nostril with your ring finger of that same hand. Open your right, in other words, lift your thumb, exhale through your right, all the way out. Leave the nostril open, right side, breathe in. Close it up at fullness, open left to exhale, to empty. and left inhales. At the fullness moment, switch side for exhalation and stay for inhalation. Switching, exhale, stay, going in your own timing now, stay for inhale, switch when you're ready to exhale, knowing that the slowing of your breath, the smoothening of your breath continues to send signals to the places in the body that produce quietude, ease, equanimity, centeredness, calm. And so both the nervous system, the hormonal system, all these incredibly complex and brilliant systems in the body that respond to our thoughts, that respond to our intentions, are getting the message of this beautiful yogic practice, Nadi Shodhana, to bring balance and calmness. Completing with your left nostril exhalation, and rest your hand down to feel the stream of breath through both. And the stream of breath out again through both. Marinate in 2 more cycles of this beautiful calm breathing. Beautiful, everyone. And so now we're going to make our way, keeping this lovely calm place, to our next shape, which is elevated legs. Now if you like, you have a wall near you, lie against the wall on your back and let your legs hang into the wall. You could pop a blankie under your sacrum or the bolster even. See what feels comfy. Or if you don't have that wall space, use this little tabletop, be it a chair, your coffee table, or your blocks and bolster. Also on the back, legs hanging over. Maybe you'd like a little pillow under your head. Find symmetry, find the alignment, left and right, of your central axis. That central axis that links us to the above and below, that holds our spine and that carries the Shushumna, that main carrier of prana through the body. We fall away left and right of that. And we let the ground hold us. And we let the props hold the legs in the elevated place. So comfy, so supported. So easy to let go and relax and stay with breathing. To enter these inner realms of wisdom, silence, and infinite support. It's here for each of us. So this is how we awaken to who we truly are. And this is how we allow and welcome radical self-love. And this is how we accept what is now. We are beyond linear time and rational perception. We are resting in this field of infinite possibilities. So yogis, let's complete this elevated leg position. And bending your knees, hug them in close to you. A little self-hug. And then rolling over to one side, let's set up for supported bridge pose. So one of the blankets goes above the mat, so we won't use it under the head now. And the bolster goes that direction. The blocks go to the foot of the mat, and we lie on our backs. And we're going to be putting the bolster underneath the sacrum. The easiest way is to just lie down and then raise your hips up, tuck that bolster under, or your double blankie, something that elevates your hips. And then you can keep your knees bent, feet flat, or if available for your body, if it agrees, try it out. Have your legs straight and your heels hanging over your blocks. And that creates a lovely traction for your legs and your back and your sacrum. Feel how your upper back and the back of your heart rests on the ground, and that's important. Your forehead and chin are kind of level, neither is lifted higher than the other. And in this lovely open space, we receive the stretch to the physical body We feel the beautiful breath flowing through. Noticing and welcoming the calmer state that we've arrived at. Less thoughts, more calm. And this deep remembering that we are light, and we are love, and we are generosity and creativity. And any thought forms less than that have been programmed into us, and they do not serve us. Let them go, let them go. They are roadblocks. We need to move them aside, avoid them. Rest in your breath and equanimity. So yogis, we complete this shape. Bend your knees. Maneuver the bolster downer away from your buttocks. And let your sacrum land. Draw the pillow blankie under your head. Snuggle your sacrum, and then again let your legs slide out. Full extension, but flopped, relaxed. As we come now into the Shavasana shape, and as you rest here, a little reminder of who you truly are. Being of light. The light that flows not only through your body but through the entire universe. Welcome everything. Welcome every thought, movement, sound. Welcome it all. You are honored for your courage and commitment. The commitment that your soul made long, long ago, bringing you home to the illumined being that you are. Your colorful personality assists you, and so too all beings around you and across the globe. Always, always seek the light within yourself and in the others. No matter how challenging it may be in the moment, seek it within you and in the other. Invite yourself to flow like water, as light on water, welcoming it all. You are not alone, you are supported by the cosmos all around you, above you, below you, at your feet. You are honored and celebrated being who you are. You are a portal for the infinite light that shines through you, with the infinite capacity to love. You are adored and cherished. And the angelic beings that surround you put flowers in your hair and anoint your feet to reflect the magnificence of you. Feel yourself being bathed, anointed, and truly honored. Feel the vibration of our Earth Mother and all her beautiful beings to reflect to you the life that you are. The grass, the birds, the four-leggeds, the fish, the angelic realm, loving you as you love them. Receive this nurturing, receive and be this light, this manna, soak in it. And as we come to completion, we give thanks. Thanks for the silence. Thanks for the helpers all around us in all the realms. Thanks for being loved and cherished and adored. We are grateful. So as you connect again with your breath, sense your physical body. Sense your body on the mat. Notice how you feel. Bring your breath to your heart. And as you breathe your heart breath, know that you are so connected, so deeply connected within yourself and without, with all that is. And so in this fullness of being, of gratitude, let's share it out. Let's share it out with our loved ones. Bring to mind your most beloved one or ones. And just send them your love, this infinite love. And send it particularly to those who are in suffering and in pain, and who may have forgotten who they are. And we send our love and our light to the troubled places on the planet, that healing may come to all, that peace and well-being and remembering may come to all. Nice, everybody. And so we complete our practice with a little moving and a little stretch. And then please come onto your side and up to sit. We'll close our time together in prayer pose to inhale and send our love up and receive all that comes to us in gratitude. Namaste.